Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we slice and dice financial filings to give you the real story behind the numbers. And today we're diving into Enterprise Financial Services Corp, a company that's all about being the bank that serves businesses and individuals. And this report is a quick update, a snapshot of what's happening right now. So what's the big news from Enterprise Financial Services Corp, or EFSC? As they're known, well, this filing isn't a full quarterly report, but more of an announcement of some investor meetings where they'll be presenting some materials. That's it for this specific report. But the key takeaway is that they're actively engaging with investors and analysts to share their story, which usually means they're feeling pretty good about where they are or want to signal something important to the market. This little tag at the very beginning tells us the filing's internal reference number and the date it was made public, August 27th, 2025, essentially signaling that this is a current report focused on recent events. This confirms we're looking at an official filing with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, the watchdog for publicly traded companies. Now, Form 8K is like a company's instant news alert. It's filed when something significant happens that investors should know about immediately. Think big announcements, mergers, acquisitions, or in this case, presenting materials to investors. This is the date of the report itself, and also the earliest event reported, which tells us that whatever is being discussed happened on or just before this date. This is the company we're looking at, Enterprise Financial Services Corp. No surprises here. They're a financial services company, so the name tells you pretty much all you need to know about what they do. Companies often incorporate in Delaware because of its business-friendly laws. It's like picking a home state that's good for business. This is their commission file number. Think of it as their unique ID within the SEC system. And this is their IRS employer identification number, or in the tax ID for the company. Not super exciting, but important for official record keeping. This is their main office address in St. Louis, Missouri, so it gives you a sense of their physical presence and where their headquarters are located. Not too much to unpack here, unless you're planning a visit. This is their contact phone number if you ever needed to call them directly, but let's be honest, we get our information from these filings, not by making phone calls. This part is all about specific SEC rules and reporting obligations. EFSC is saying that by filing this report, they are meeting certain disclosure requirements, like sharing information with the public really quickly. This is where they list the company's stock that's traded on stock exchanges. This is their common stock, which is what most people think of when they think of owning a piece of a company. It's trading on the NASDAQ Global Select Market. EFSC is the ticker symbol you'd use to find their stock on a financial website, just like searching for a name. This tells us where their main stock is traded. The NASDAQ Global Select Market is a prestigious segment of the NASDAQ exchange, known for having some of the most liquid and highest quality companies. This is a bit more complex. It's not just common stock, but also something called depository shares, representing a piece of their preferred stock. Preferred stock is a different type of ownership with different rights, often paying a fixed dividend. This is the ticker symbol for that specific preferred stock, which is often how these types of securities are traded separately. Again, this preferred stock is also traded on the NASDAQ Global Select Market, showing the company's presence on a major exchange for both its common and preferred shares. This is a checkbox question asking if the company is considered an emerging growth company according to SEC rules. These companies get some regulatory flexibility. EFSC has indicated it is not choosing to be treated as one on this filing. This is the core of this particular filing. Item 7.01 is all about Regulation FD, or Fair Disclosure. This regulation ensures that all investors get access to the same important information at the same time. No public company can selectively share material information with just a few people. This sentence is the absolute key here. EFSC is admitting they are presenting special materials to specific investors and analysts, and they are attaching those materials as an exhibit to this report. This usually means they want to share important company updates or financial highlights that are not yet publicly widely disseminated in detail, but they have to tell the SEC they're doing it. This is important legal jargon. They are saying that the information they are sharing through this Regulation FD disclosure is not considered officially filed with the SEC in the same way a full financial report would be. This means it doesn't automatically become part of their permanent record in the same way, and it's there to satisfy the fair disclosure rule not to be the primary source of detailed financial information. This item tells us what exhibits are being filed with this report. It's like the table of contents for the attachments. This is the actual attachment, the investor presentation. It's what EFSC is sharing with select investors and analysts. Basically, this 8K filing is a heads up that they've released more detailed information through this separate exhibit, which is available for anyone to see if they look carefully at the filing. This refers to the formatting of the report itself using inline XBRL, which is a newer way to present financial data, making it easier for computers to read and analyze, standardizing the information. This is the official sign-off of the company's authorized personnel authenticating the report. Again, the company name confirming who is responsible for this filing. The signature date matching the report date, showing it was signed off on the day it was filed. This is the electronic signature of Troy R. Dumlau, confirming he's the one officially signing off on behalf of the company. And this tells us his role within EFSC. He is the Executive Vice President and Chief Accounting Officer, essentially the person in charge of the company's financial reporting and accuracy. This is a senior role, and their signature means the company stands behind the information provided. So what does this all mean for us as investors or interested observers? This Form 8K isn't providing brand new financial numbers or a deep dive into performance metrics. Instead, it's a procedural filing, letting us know that Enterprise Financial Services Corp is actively communicating with investors and analysts by providing them with specific presentation materials. The key here is that Exhibit 99.1 is where the actual substance of what EFSC is telling investors will be found. This report itself is just a notification that those materials exist and are being shared. Think of it like this: the company isn't giving us the full meal in this filing, but they are telling us they're serving a special dish to select guests and the recipe is attached. This tells us that EFSC is in a proactive phase of communication, possibly preparing for upcoming events or wanting to highlight a specific aspect of their business that they believe is particularly strong or important to investors right now. Now, my take on this kind of filing, while it doesn't give us the juicy financial details directly, it does signal a company that is actively managing its investor relations and potentially gearing up for something important. If they're presenting to investors, it often means they want to highlight growth opportunities or positive financial trends that might not be obvious from just a high-level overview, or perhaps they want to address any concerns investors might have in a controlled environment. The risk here is that this filing doesn't give us the actual performance data to analyze, so we're relying on the assumption that Exhibit 99.1 will be informative and that EFSC is transparent in those materials. Without seeing Exhibit 99.1, directly the true story remains somewhat hidden, but the fact that they're using an 8K filing with a Regulation FD disclosure suggests they are being careful and compliant in their communication. In essence, this filing is a signal of active investor engagement and a pointer to more detailed information that is available. It tells us EFSC is on the investor relations radar and that they have presented information to key stakeholders, which is generally a positive sign of organizational health and communication strategy. Enterprise Financial Services Corp operates in a competitive banking landscape, and staying connected with investors is crucial for maintaining confidence and supporting its stock price and organizational health and communication strategy. Enterprise Financial Services Corp operates in a competitive banking landscape, and staying connected with investors is crucial for maintaining confidence and supporting its stock price. Alright, that's our quick decode of this EFSC filing. Remember, this was more about the process and the signal of communication rather than a deep dive into financials. You'll want to look for that Exhibit 99.1. To get the real meat of what EFSC is telling the market, if you found this breakdown helpful, give this video a thumbs up, and if you want more of these corporate insights explained in simple terms, make sure you subscribe to Corporate Decoder. And hey, we have a fantastic community over on Discord where we break down these filings even further. You can find the link in the description below. Join us there to keep the conversation going. What are your thoughts on EFSC's investor outreach strategy based on this filing? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next decode.